Foster care was not really something I had ever thought about, but I knew friends that fostered, and so, you know, watching their life and just talking to them and having them be a part of our friendships and our lives, it opened us to another possibility. And felt like that was the time the Lord began the process of getting us ready to do this ministry.
As we had more children, and you actually get used to the idea of being a father, knowing that there were children out there who didn't have that role in their life.
A loving family with parents who are there, who are trying to meet their needs, with siblings who are loving and try to share their toys and try to be patient, what that looks like, what it looks like. I mean, you get kids who've never had dinner around a table. They've never sat with their family at a table to have dinner. And now, a few months in, they're folding their hands together to pray with you, because that's what you do when you sit at the table with your family, is you sit down and you pray. And getting to see that, like, just little moments like that make all the difficult things that come through from foster care worth it. I got the call for EV on a Monday night at 5 p.m. I'm putting chicken nuggets in the toaster oven for my kids. I mean, as normal can be. And there's this phone call saying, hey, there's this baby, and we're looking for a placement. Are you guys interested?
I was at work, and Marielle called me and said that, hey, they called about a newborn baby, and they're asking us if we're available to take in a newborn baby. And I was like, ooh, sleepless nights. You know, we really weren't planning on taking in any babies. And Marielle's like, yeah, even if we say yes, they said that they've had a bunch of other yeses, and it's probably not gonna come to us, because they actually choose out of the people that are available who would be a good fit. And so we prayed about it, and I called Marielle back and I said, yes, if it gets to us, we'll say yes.
We got the call back 10, 15 minutes later. Oh, they picked you.
You can pick her up from the hospital when you're ready. And we said, ooh, and we were both kind of like, okay, well, we need to get a new car seat and everything, so give us a couple days. Honestly, the foster care community is so tightly knit. If you need something, it's there for you.
She was in the NICU, so there was some precautions we had to take, extra testing that she had to do before she could leave. So I was in there for a while. One of the nurses actually asked me, because the NICU we were in was a big room full of babies. And she came up to me while I was waiting, you know, in there and holding Evie and just looking at her kind of amazed, like, this baby is gonna come home with us. This is kind of crazy. But I remember she came up to me and she says, do you have any friends? Because there's 8 here that no one's coming for. You know, you do this for long enough and you realize the need is so great, but it doesn't. It never just sits easy with you. I mean, getting someone to say that to you, and that's your backyard.
I was kind of used to having other kids staying with us for a short time. I thought it was just gonna be like a normal time with a little foster kid.
We started thinking about whether or not she would be part of our family permanently. After a while, once things started to progress through the courts, then they start having to ask who would be available to adopt her. And they start going through and figuring out, first of all, whether or not the placement that she's in is willing to adopt, and then if not, then they'd have to go and find out someplace outside of that.
Ultimately, it looked like she would be up for adoption. Obviously, there's a joy to that, there's happiness, but it's also a heartbreak. You're happy that Your life is going to begin with this little person that you love so much. But you know the real heartbreak also lies in that a family is getting torn apart.
When I walked into the courthouse thinking that it's about to happen, I was just really excited. It was one of the best days of my life.
Just to know that this child is going to be brought up in the love and admonition of the Lord, to see the fruit of that in her life is, it's worth more than anything.
The journey of having Evie was very hard, but it's worth it. It's worth it all.
If you're on the fence, just take the class. You're not signing your life away. No one's going to start calling you. You're really just finding out. If God has put foster care on your heart and you think you have another seat in your car or you know, space at your dining table, there's a child that would love to fill that space, I'm sure.